So take a look at these images for me. Do you notice anything wrong with them? Okay, how about these ones? Still nothing? Then finally, how about these ones? Well, if you didn't guess by the last set of images and of course the title of this video, today I'm going to be drawing anime characters into historical events. So let's get into this. Wow! Hey guys, so today I'm going to be putting anime characters into historical events. I low-key got this idea from seeing anime characters next to celebrities, and then I remembered the Riz Lord himself, Duke Dennis, is old as hell, and those pictures gave me the idea for this video. So the first challenge was actually finding the pictures I was going to draw these anime characters in, which was harder than you'd expect because I didn't want to be kind of like insensitive to history because I feel like someone's gonna get mad. But nonetheless, I ended up picking these three images, two of Martin Luther King and one of Rosa Parks on the bus. So once the images were selected, all I had to do now was, draw the anime characters in them. So the first picture I decided to do was this one, so let's get started. So to start off this image, I decided to of course make a base, but before that, choose what character I was going to do. I took a lot of time thinking about it, and then I decided that Nanami would fit it the most because he's always wearing that business suit and he's an upright, good gentleman. So we went with him. So once I got the base down and I was starting to do the main line art, I actually had to turn off the background image because black on black you can't see it, so it's really tricky. And that's actually one of the harder things because when you're doing this, it's hard to differentiate, especially when you have the background on, because you want to know where certain things are and how this looks. So it was kind of hard, especially when erasing, because because everything's black. That's what I'm trying to say. This neck portion was actually kind of tricky for me because the way I drew his neck, it didn't look right, but it did in a way, but it didn't at the same time, because I'm trying to mask over this body underneath. I kind of had to make it look a certain way, but I managed to make it work in the end, and I didn't actually change the neck. At this point, I kind of started on shading certain parts and, making sure the colors were right, because I'm doing this in grayscale, so I kind of just eyeballed, and I don't really know. I can't tell you. Genuinely, this left arm was probably the trickiest thing out of any of the drawings I had to do. Actually, that's a lie. It was so hard because you couldn't even tell what was her arm and what was his arm, and I was just like so confused. So I had to go back and redo it a couple times, make it look this way, do it that way, because I made his shoulder too far back and then too far forwards. It was just like, why don't they have like an iPhone 12 or something? I don't know. So at this point you can see me start to play around with like effects and what was that, screen tones, and they didn't work. They didn't give me the effect that I wanted, so I looked up how to do it, and it turns out like there's this, if you go onto filter and then render, there's this thing and you can turn it down or up and it gives it like this blurry, like grainy look. It turned out great, as you can see, and I then continued to use this method on all the other drawings. For the most part, at the end it's just me cleaning it up and polishing it, so I'll let you guys watch. So this is a complete, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with the result. I genuinely just find these images fun to create. This was probably one of the best things I've ever made, like ever drawn, ever. So anyway, now on to drawing 2. This was the picture that I used for the next drawing, and for this one I decided to put Crollo in it instead. I thought it just looked cool because, you know, I do love Hunter x Hunter. So for this one I decided, like I always do, I make a base on a separate layer, like a little sketch layer, and then, you know, we start building off of that. As you can notice, this one's probably a lot different to the other one because it's a full body drawing. I did have another one which was a, you know, stood up full body drawing, but sadly I messed it up. If you saw the post, that was the one that I was working on, and I accidentally messed up the file type, so I can't get it back. For the most part, this was pretty smooth sailing, if I'm being honest. Literally nothing went wrong, and it wasn't that difficult. The hand was a bit difficult, and also I forgot that the camera is in front, so I had to erase some stuff, but besides that, this was pretty simple drawing. So I'll let you guys just watch me draw it. At this point I thought it was kind of a good idea to outline the camera, but it really wasn't. It was so stupid because the quality of these images aren't the best, so outlining something that's kind of blurry and hard to, like, you don't even know what you're outlining half the time, so yeah, I just gave up on that. Adding the shadows to Crollo is a bit hard because I'm still not very, you know, familiar with shadows, but I think it turned out pretty well. Now this is all finished up, let's look at the final drawing. Overall, this is actually probably one of my favourite drawings, not only because I love Crollo a lot, but I don't know, I think it fits it well. I think it's kind of funny. I think this one turned out well. And now finally, last but not least, the third drawing. So for this drawing, of course I used the last picture that is, you know, in use, this one. And I decided to put Aizawa from My Hero Academia in it, because, I don't know, I felt like he would fit the vibe very well. So, let's get into it. You guys know the drill already. We start off with a base, and then we work from there. In reality, just like the other two, it isn't that much different. The process is practically the same. There was one really annoying part though, and you'll see that in a second. So at this point, part of the man underneath, his coat was still showing. so I thought I should make Aizawa's body bigger. But little did I know that it was going to make him look like a pufferfish. Like, this man looked like queso. Looked like he'd eat a planet. But I just put it back to normal in the end because you couldn't really see the coat, it blended in with the chair, so I was like, we safe. Now you've watched me finish the drawing. Here's the finished product of the third and final piece. I hope you enjoy. With this drawing, I think it has the best vibe match between character and scene. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Aizawa just fits. I don't know why. He just fits with the cigarette in his mouth, just sat there, legs crossed. I don't know, like, he just looks like he's meant to be there. Like, he's fighting for Black lives, you know? But that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry that it's late. Like, late at night. Well, not for you guys. Maybe for you. I don't know. But I'm sorry. And tell me which one you like. I'll put up a poll. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.